Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of English with Altaf. Today, I am going to share something very personal and very exciting. I will talk about my English speaking journey, how I started from almost zero confidence, and how in just 30 days I reached a point where I could speak more fluently and comfortably. This story is not about perfection. It is about real progress, daily practice, and the small but powerful steps that created change in my English.
That sounds really inspiring, Annie. In this video, we will not only hear your journey, but also learn from it. Our viewers will discover that fluency is not a mystery. It is the result of consistency and practice. So if you are watching this and you feel stuck, remember Annie's story will show you how much transformation is possible in just 30 days.
Let me start from the beginning. On day one, I was nervous. My confidence was low, and I felt shy even speaking one simple sentence in English. I wrote in my notebook, "I cannot speak freely." I hesitate, but I promised myself that I would not give up. On the very first day, I began with the simplest sentences. For example, "My name is Annie. I like tea. I live in this city." These sentences looked very small, but for me, they were the first steps on a long road.
And those first steps are always the hardest. Many learners believe they need to start with complex grammar rules or difficult vocabulary. But the truth is, the journey always begins with small, simple sentences. If you can use them every day, they build your confidence, and that is the foundation of fluency.
By day three, I began to feel a little more comfortable. I started asking myself questions in English and answering them. For example, "What are you doing?" "I am studying." "Where are you going?" "I am going to the shop." This exercise gave me the feeling that I was having a real conversation. Even though it was with myself, it helped me break the barrier of silence. On day five, something very surprising happened. I spoke to my colleague in English for a short moment. It was not perfect, but it worked. I was able to communicate, and that gave me energy to continue.
And that is what learners must understand. Fluency is not about avoiding mistakes. It is about communication. When you manage to speak, even if you make mistakes and people understand you, your confidence grows. That moment, Annie, was the first real breakthrough in your journey.
Yes, it really was. By the end of the first week, I looked back at my notes and realized I was already speaking more than before. That gave me hope. In week two, from day 8 to day 12, I started writing short entries about my daily life in English. For example, "Today I cooked food." "I met a friend." "I watched a film." These were small paragraphs, but I spoke them aloud and I felt my sentences becoming more natural. On day 13, I wrote a funny story from my childhood and read it aloud. I laughed at my mistakes, but I also felt joy in using English for self-expression.
That is the beauty of using English for real-life experiences. When learners connect English with their daily activities, their brain stops treating it as a subject and starts treating it as a tool. This is when practice becomes powerful. Storytelling, especially, is a very strong tool because it allows you to move beyond single sentences and create a flow of thought.
By day 15, I decided to record my voice. Listening to myself was very strange in the beginning. I heard mistakes, pauses, and nervousness. But instead of feeling sad, I felt motivated. I said, "This is my starting point. If I continue, I will sound better after some days." And that is exactly what happened. From day 16 to day 20, I practiced shadowing. I listened to short English clips and repeated after them, trying to copy the pronunciation and rhythm. At first, it was difficult, but slowly I felt my mouth and my tongue becoming more flexible.
Recording and shadowing are excellent techniques. They make learners conscious of their progress. The recording shows the difference between yesterday and today, and shadowing improves pronunciation and fluency at the same time. These steps, Annie, were key parts of your transformation.
Yes, absolutely. By day 21, I felt something magical. I started thinking in English without trying. When I wanted to say, I am hungry, my brain automatically produced it in English, not in my first language. That moment gave me so much happiness. I realized that English was becoming part of my thinking process. From day 22 to day 25, I challenged myself to write longer entries and then speak them aloud. For example, I went to the park with my friend. We talked about our plans for the weekend. I enjoyed the weather. Speaking these paragraphs gave me the courage to continue without stopping too much.
And that is where we see fluency developing. Fluency is not only about speed, it is about being able to connect sentences naturally. Once a learner can do this, even for 1 or 2 minutes, they are already stepping into real fluency.
On day 26, I gave myself a small test. I spoke about my daily routine for 2 minutes without stopping. I recorded it and listened. Of course, there were mistakes, but I was able to keep speaking without silence. That was such a proud moment for me. By day 28, I became even braver. I joined a small online English group and introduced myself. I was nervous, but when people understood me and replied, I felt strong. On day 30, I reviewed everything I had done. I saw the difference between the shy girl on day 1 and the confident speaker on day 30. I was not perfect, but I was transformed.
And that is the heart of this video. Your story shows us that English transformation in 30 days is possible if we stay consistent. It is not about learning hundreds of words in one day. It is about practicing daily, speaking aloud, recording, writing, and connecting English with life. Most importantly, it is about courage, because without courage, no learner can start this journey.
Yes. And for me, the journal was the secret. It showed me my progress and kept me accountable. Every day when I wrote and spoke, I built a chain of practice, and I never wanted to break that chain. That is how the transformation happened.
So let us summarize what we have learned today.
We learned that starting with simple sentences builds the foundation.
We learned that practicing daily life situations and storytelling brings confidence.
We learned that recording and shadowing improve pronunciation and fluency.
And we learned that a 30-day speaking journey can completely change the way you use English if you stay consistent and courageous.
So friends, if I can do it, you can do it too. Start your own 30-day English speaking journey and you will see your transformation.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching English with Altaf. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep growing.